Hi, everyone. This is the Women's Eye podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Gualandi. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, here on the Women's Eye, you will meet women who are not afraid to take action on issues that they are very passionate about. Now, this episode is brought to you by the Casco Financial Group in Phoenix, Arizona. Casco's president, Catherine Scrivano, started her business to help people like you create the financial strength to achieve their dreams. Now, today, Debbie Isaacs is my guest, and I am so excited because not only is Debbie the founder and president of Unshakeable, she is also my friend right here in Las Vegas. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Stacey. How are you?
I am good. Now, I can't wait to chat. But first, I want you to know, everyone out there, that Unshakeable has a very specific mission: to guide women recovering from trauma back to the workforce so they can achieve financial freedom. And thanks to support for her 7-year-old nonprofit, more than 140 clients have graduated from its groundbreaking I Am series. And well over half of their clients are now working and earning a living wage. Debbie's motto is, you don't have to give to an organization, or you don't give to an organization, you give through it. Now, I think you probably say it much better than I do, Deb, but welcome. Finally, we've got you here on the Women's Eye, and I'm so excited. This Valentine's month, you've got heart. I know you've been told that a million times.
Well, thanks. It's great to be here.
No, and that was a year ago that we saluted you with a Valentine's Day cake. So, I mean, just in a year, what you have accomplished. Yeah, it was a pretty good year for you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was certainly our biggest year of growth. And the 146 is just the clients we served last year.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty remarkable.
That is fantastic. Now, you and I know each other here in Vegas through production, and we work in TV. We see each other on red carpets, and we've worked together as well. But it's so interesting that you decided to transition from that world into the nonprofit world. Why?
Well, truthfully, I think it was just a moment in time where I had been going through some things. It's just a purpose-driven moment. I selfishly went to investigate a specialty court program here in Las Vegas, thinking I'd be the next Mark Burnett and make a hit reality show about it. And I was shaken to my core, really, in that courtroom, listening to the women share their stories. And my physical situation might not have looked like that, but the stories they shared, like some of them getting dressed for themselves for the first time, not having to put on clothes somebody else, or being able to brush their teeth in the mirror and look at themselves and not feel shamed or embarrassed, and just being able to show up. And I have felt that way. I struggle on some days to look in the mirror. I think we all can start our day one of two ways. We can either pick ourselves apart, too fat, too this, my hair, my eyes, or you can really start your day with, I am beautiful, I am powerful.
Like high-fiving yourself in the mirror or something.
High-fiving yourself in the mirror, right? So I think it was that moment that I said, you know what? Like, at the end of the day, I know friends that struggle with this. And I really had a gut reaction that said, what are you going to do? And I ended up going to the women all lived in one house, and I had dinner with them and heard their stories. And there was a gap in what happens to a lot of the women after they're in treatment. And the gap is, there's very much a check the box mentality. Let's just put them in a job and off they go. And it's going to be great because we did all this great therapy and we've, addressed their trauma. But the truth is, if we don't help the women become financially independent, if we're not helping them to survive without the help of somebody else, then I felt like their path, it was incomplete. So we're the last part of that
Yeah,
restoring.
it's that the bridge right over, to help them through that
Yeah.
too. But, when you said it kind of shook you, is that where the Unshakable name came from, or where did you get the
And
name from?
that maybe deep down, but really there were a couple of other names, but the Unshakable, especially for us in our logo, the emphasis is on the able, was to really let the women know that they are unshakable. Like they have, I often remind them, and our staff reminds them, that everything they need to succeed is already inside them. So we just want them to know that we're there to help them unpack that, discover it, and give them hope and believe it. And if we do those things, the rest is kind of easy.
Absolutely. Who are some of these women, in terms of their stories, and what kinds of traumatic things have they, yeah, what traumatic things has life dealt them?
So we work with women recovering from trauma. So homelessness, substance use disorder, domestic and sexual violence, and trafficking. And, we just have women that accomplish on a daily basis amazing things. But like recently, this is kind of the separation for Unshakable. We have a client named Sarah who's in her mid-20s, and no one ever really asked her like what her interest was or what she wanted to do. She struggled with addiction since she was 13. She grew up in a household that mom was in and out, a substance use abuser herself. And when we sat with her, and we often say it like, if we took away every obstacle and you just had the ability, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said that she loved animals and wanted to be a furrier. And I, coming from New York, was like, you mean the guys that like put minks over their shoulder and walk 7th Avenue? And I had to look it up. It's really responsible for hoof care for horses. And so the way Unshakable works is we called our hiring partners and one of our community partners, and she has a job shadowing set up this week to go see what that job is and work at a stable for the full day to really see it. It is the stable owner told us it's the hardest job at the stable, but we want her to experience that and give her hope that she can achieve it. And if at the end of the day she's like, this is my dream, we are going to find a way to make sure that she gets to chase that.
That's
So
amazing. I mean, it's so random, but yet you were able to make that happen for her, and it's really through your connections here in Las Vegas. And a big part of this too, you mentioned your community partners. I mean, it's not, you're not working as a singular organization. You are really utilizing the help and efforts from so many different organizations in Las Vegas, right?
yes, for sure. We couldn't do what we do without, the community partners with nonprofit are those that we bring our program to. Everybody from Shine a Light, Wings, Safeness, Safe House. But our other part of our equation are our business alliance partners, which really help us to have the women interview, discover career paths, work for companies that have an employee for life mentality, meaning we can start you at an entry-level position, but we're going to mentor you to management and achieve independence. So yeah, we couldn't do what we do without our partners on both sides.
That's fantastic. Now, I mentioned earlier the I Am series. What exactly is that, and why has that been so successful? Just what is it, 140, over 140 women just last year?
Yeah, just last year. So the I Am series is really the heart of Unshakable. It is 10 interactive workshops led by community and business leaders through, in Las Vegas at executive at different executive levels, different careers, business owners, entrepreneurs. So, and we teach the women business acculturation. So we're talking to them about brand marketing, business communication. We teach safe boundaries. We're doing some self-esteem classes, life skills for adults. So, and mostly in those classes, we get to measure hope. And that's the first step. It's really an opportunity for the women to hear the heart of Unshakeable and to start for the first time visioning for themselves a future different than what they've ever had.
Oh, it's like I get chills because it's like you're making this happen for them, and you're pulling it out of them. But being able to help these women who maybe they just didn't know where to go beforehand. And how do women find you? Are they referred to you, or obviously if they know about Unshakable, they'll just reach out?
We find them really.
Yeah.
Like I said, we offer our Empower to Employ program, which is the IM series, the intensive case management that we refer to as career coaching, and then our Business Alliance program to currently somewhere between 15 and 20 nonprofits here in Clark County. And so we bring our workshops to the shelters, or we transport people here to our classrooms. And so we really find them. We know that those programs are doing great work in the rescue, residency, the therapy portion. We're the restoring.
Yeah, I love that. So I know what it's like in television world, and it's crazy. And so you've kind of left one crazy, well, not fully left it, but you were in one crazy career and then now into the nonprofit world. Has it been an easy transition for you career wise, and what have been the challenges getting into nonprofit? Because I know you probably interviewed many, many, many nonprofits, and, but I'm just curious if that was an easy transition for you.
I tell people the first day I came to work at our office, I really didn't know what to do, like where to start. I had done production for so long. I'm like, what do we do? But, I think along the way, in the production side, you're gaining, like, I feel like I gained tools, right? I had filmed enough conventions, enough keynote speakers, understood what a workshop looked like, met amazing, incredible people that are top of their class in different careers. And I think that was the first step that just gave me the mindset that's like, why not start these workshops? And then so the workshops came first for the first couple of years, and then the career coaching evolved, and now it's like everything all together. So it's different. The hours are a little better, I will say that.
That's great. You could set the hours. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But I say this, there's not a day that I don't look forward to even some of the challenges that we face with clients every day to help them discover how to solve some of the things they're going through. And there's no greater happiness for us to either hear, I got the job,
Yeah,
or I got my first apartment thanks to the job, or I bought a car, or even better for us that families are reunited, and we helped clients that due to, not really mistakes in their past, but when we watch women reunify with their children, and we here at Unshakeable have adopted a lot of kids. Certainly over the holidays, it was just a ton of fun, but that's just a great feeling for us, especially when the moms come for a coaching session and they bring their kids with them so we can meet them, and they're like, because listen, in helping the women find their independence, we've also changed generationally the outcome for the family.
Yeah. Yeah, because maybe, when in their growth, or as they got older, maybe they weren't being given the tools from their parents, but now they're learning this now, and then they could transfer that down to their kids.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
starts a whole new cycle for them. So you mentioned challenges. What were some of the challenges? Maybe at the right out of the gate, or but it's made you a good, because it's my perception of you. I'm going to go back. Very strong. You're very confident. Like you never, nothing phases you. That was always my impression of you, so I feel like if you did have challenges with getting into nonprofit, that it was something you could just sort of meet it head on, and you just figure out how to solve the problem.
Well, thank you very much. I grew up in the generation where never let them see you sweat, right? So that was the, I think understanding the first transition was really understanding that I went from an industry where I had clients that we sold items to now clients that don't purchase, right? So understanding just how nonprofit works and applying for grants and fundraising and all of that was a learning curve. And I think, just not giving up. I mean, there are some days where it doesn't work out. We deal with relapse. We deal with watching a parent not be able to reconcile. And I think, we have to acknowledge that, and we can't solve all of the problems. And, we've watched clients that will go through not only our program, but maybe a court program. And at the end of the day, still struggle for employment because there's not a continuation of employment, and employers are a little leery
Yeah.
to take a risk. And, that's why we're grateful for our business alliance partners who say, I'm going to give somebody that opportunity. So all of those are challenges. And, I think on a personal level, I'm always asking, what about the one that didn't say yes? Like, could we have done something better? Like, what's our challenge so that the next time they say yes to the program and to wanting to change? Like, so I think that's the hard part.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I mean, but yet your goals initially have, what you set out to do. Are your goals still the same now? And I'd love to brag about a lot of your successes too, but have your goals shifted at all?
I think we, we talk about outcomes. So, and that's what everybody measures by. So I think one of the goals we've set for ourselves this year is one, to serve 275 women. And another one of our goals is to raise the engagement. Like I said, like what are we doing so that we keep them on a good path of achieving their goals, not so much our goals, but their goals. And one of the future things for Unshakeable is exploring social enterprise. So that's going to be a big lift for us, but we know in the end that creating a business where the focus will be the women can get the continued employment that they may be lacking, but also learn about different areas of employment, from social media to marketing to bookkeeping, customer service. So that's a big goal for us.
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You just keep reaching. But I know I wanted to talk too, because there's a couple things. You've held more than 700 coaching sessions, which really, you said, are the stepping stones for many to gain confidence and abilities to get that first job. So
yeah,
that's a lot. And then you were able to create a free clothing boutique, which seems so simple, but can you imagine? I mean, what that does for people? Just because I know what, for me, if you love what you're wearing, or if you feel good in that makes so much difference,
Yeah, fortunately, that's where the background in production helped. I'm grateful for our friends that were stylists. It was a shout out to Tiffany. It was a vision of hers ever since we started to have that boutique and allow our clients to, really have the dignity to come in and pull together not only business outfits, though that's our uh, primary focus in the boutique, but also just casual clothes. A lot of them, as you know, when they come to shelter, uh, aren't able to pack a suitcase and throw in their best outfits. They're often leaving with a garbage bag or nothing at all. So, we just want them to be able to come in here. So, that's what we've built. And again, grateful for friends that really come alongside and have a vision for Unshakeable as well.
Yeah, you could have a whole TV show makeovers of, it's a thing. We'll talk about that later. But
Okay, you got it.
yeah, is this something too that obviously this is working so well here in Las Vegas, but is this something that you'd like to branch out and is there a need for this in every city in the country?
I'm sure there is. I mean, I think I think that's what people are learning, right? Domestic and sexual violence could be happening at your next door neighbors. Most women that suffer, most women that experience domestic or sexual violence also experience financial abuse. And homelessness is a nationwide problem. So there's definitely opportunity for expansion. I don't know that we've figured out what that looks like. I will say the unique part about Unshakable is our coaching and our philosophy around that we're not, and no knock to fast foods. We understand that that is a great place to start. We just know that our clients need a living wage and the opportunity to support themselves and a family. So, yeah, we just, we're looking for that right next step and somebody to come along and say, we want to duplicate this, replicate it.
Yeah. For you, Debbie, what do you think is about you that has made you care so much? Because we all can look at this and think, oh, this has got to be so tough, though, these women and trying to get back into the workforce. But what do you think it is about you at your core and in your heart that you're being very selfless to help these women and to take your time to do this?
Yeah, I wish I had. I think the truth is that I struggle right alongside of them on a lot of days with confidence, and I know it doesn't seem that way, but I have days where the first conversations in the mirror are, look at you, you're getting older, you're too heavy, you don't sound right, you don't
We
speak
must be
right.
talking to each other.
Right. So I
Yeah.
think, I often say like I'm with them right in that. And um, you know, I had truthfully, I think I also watched my parents uh give generously of themselves and their time. And I don't think I had ever put that together until one of their oldest and closest friends had called me after they saw some of the things that were happening with Unshakable and was like, "You're your parents' kid, like."
Oh,
And I said, and she was this is a woman who's now in her late 80s. So she was in an abusive relationship. And we didn't talk about it back then when I was in high school. And without knowing, my parents often took care of her and her son, and we had them to dinner and ran errands. And it was just something that happened. It was never like, this is why. And I think I just watched that generosity and, it never dawned on me, but she had called to say, like, you probably didn't notice this. You were a kid in high school.
wow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and also too, I imagine that, but also how rewarding it must feel, when you see a woman succeed, you know, that, and based on what you all are providing at Unshakeable, I imagine that's got to be a really good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, for me, those are the great days, right? We see not only do the women complete the programs that we meet them in, but like I said, you know, they bought their first car, they have their own apartment, they're getting out of debt, they're paying their bills, you know, and yeah, they love their job. You know, they love going to work, they see a future, and you know, we've done that. And I think also, like I said, you know, the biggest compliment for us is we have multiple independent referrals from clients to clients, like clients that are either in our program or have graduated that are bringing their friends in.
Yeah, like word of mouth. Yeah,
Like word of mouth. And, you know, that's like one of the highest compliments.
absolutely. One last question. I wanted to know, what do you think these women have learned about themselves, and what do you think you've learned about yourself?
Well, I think the women learn that they are really worth it. I think they really know that they're valued and they're loved and they're okay just as they are.
Yeah.
And that really their past doesn't define them. I mean, that is really the heart. I think if they know that, and that they're unshakable.
Yeah.
And I think what I've learned about myself is that, you know, I'm kind of a champion. I'm a champion for second chances.
Oh, that's great. I'm writing that down. I love that. That's great. I lied. I have one other question. Anybody who would want to do what you're doing or start their own nonprofit, do you have one piece of advice that you want to put out there?
This is gonna sound crazy. I would say this is my first suggestion. If you're thinking of starting your own nonprofit, check first that there's not somebody else doing it. And maybe what you could do is bring your idea to somebody that's already doing it. For Unshakeable, I had done some research and there wasn't a program focused that was gender responsive for women to return, not just for jobs, not just like, here's your check the box, go work at fast food. There wasn't a program that was investing in women finding and identifying careers and helping them for we make a minimum 2-year investment. So that's our goal. But, you know, we have clients that come back to us. You know, I still have some day oneers, and I think that's the thing. But if you do find that nobody else is doing what you're doing, then I think you get to a point where you will become purpose driven. You know, your passion is going to be what drives you and what's going to get you out of bed on the really hard days.
Yeah. That's shocking that there wasn't anything like this, but you know, but besides that, look what you're doing to change that, you know.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing. So Debbie Isaacs, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is so great.
Yeah, we need to bring you another Valentine's Day cake.
I'm still working off the calories from the last one.
I know, exactly. I know, we'll have our big hearts with our Valentine's Day. So, well, now, if you would like to learn more about Debbie Isaacs and Unshakeable, just go to our website, thewomenseye.com. And of course, now a little plug, that's where you'll also find our books, 20 Women Changemakers and 20 Women Storytellers. These are interviews with women who have been on the Women's Eye, and you won't want to miss. You can just get those wherever you buy books. Now, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and subscribe to our newsletter and YouTube channel. Again, thank you, Debbie. I know you got to get back to work, but I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for joining us on the Women's Eye podcast. Again, I'm Stacey Gualandi, and remember, it's the world as we see it.